Okay, we should be streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So, hey, folks, welcome to Daily Chaos. Coming up in about 9 minutes, House of Soros. Yeah, we're going to see what we think about the changing House of Windsor and have a bit of a chat about that. So, yeah, cool. If you're watching an archive version, you might want to fast forward a few minutes. Otherwise, some really terrible music, to share with you. Okay, alrighty, enjoy. Apparently old Fergie was boogieing to this at the wedding, yeah? She was going, oh, that's like Philly Jean-Michel Jarre, man. Not with Clooney, though. She refused to dance with him. Hey Sam, you there? Yeah. excited. I want to tell you about the power of love. Love, baby, love. Oi, can you hear me?
Yes. You hear me?
Yeah, but you're not wearing it. Oh, blimey, hold on. My machine has just done something very weird. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Blimey, it completely went black and then, the display driver stopped responding and has recovered. I don't know. Anyway, cool. Good, Sam. Mark Steele, can you hear me, sir? He might have his thing muted or what have you. We got Predator Jeff here. Jeff, can you hear me?
Evening, Ollie. Can hear you loud and proud. Wall to wall, treetops, tall, clean and green, buddy.
You sound like Baldrick out of Blackadder. The Open Day Guy 5 is here too. Anyway, all right, okay. This music is obviously too good to miss. Oh, blimey. 2 minutes, folks. Yeah. Hold on. What's going on there? Oh dear, that was dreadful. Hold on. Copyright free music, people, you know what I mean?
They said to wait for the right time, and I think tonight might just be right.
I'm actually very grateful for it. And this is Raven and Crane. Good on it. Bloody Eurovision. I bet she's got a beard. That's enough of that. Here we go. Let's get on with it. Crying out loud. Evening, all.
Evening, Ollie.
Hey, Jeff. And welcome to the Daily Chaos.
Thanks, matey. Here, I've been banned from Facebook for post. I've been banned posting. I got a post ban. Can't post anything for 30 days.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what. The show ain't daily, but the chaos is. I'm Olly Connelly. Thanks for turning up. Oh, blimey. Hold on. And hey, folks on Discord. Hey, Sam.
Hi, Ollie.
Hey, Sammy Jan Pearson. Everybody else has fallen off into the green room. I don't know why it does that. I'll put them back in. Oh, yeah. And so now, House of SOROS. House of Rothschilds, I don't know, whatever. It's interchangeable. I don't know about you, but that wedding was a bit globalist for my liking.
You mean you actually watched it, Ollie?
I did. Yeah, I like the gossip. Clooney, Major, Oprah. Even Obama was all but there. His ideological bride certainly was.
I think I'd rather watch paint dry. I never watched it. Bloody hell, I'd rather saw off my left leg with a rusty axle blade.
How much influence could these political players field, and what might that mean? What do you think? Tell us on Discord. That's guv.li/rant. And see you in the comments. Did you watch the royal wedding? Did you?
Not me.
I did, actually. I got to admit. Yeah, hands up.
Not me, not you.
I like to keep my eye on the enemy. Yeah, art of war.
Any excuse. I mean, you know, I suppose if you're bored out of your face or whatever, you know, and you're drunk, then I suppose it's as good as watching anything else.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Look, folks, if anybody wants to donate to this show, please do. PayPal.me/Brexit. And that would really help. Yeah, anyway. So, blimey, hold on a sec. Let me see if I can pull Sam back in here. Sam.
I told you about my...
I don't know what I did, sorry.
Oh, right. Okay. Are you okay? How are your dogs? Are they okay? I know one of them had a claw. He had ripped off a claw or something. Are they all right?
Yes, he's fine. And Friday, my other dog had to have his tooth out.
You've got 4 dogs, haven't you? Rescue dogs.
Yes, 4 rescue dogs.
Yeah, and 2 kids or 3.
3 kids.
Quiet life. Right. Okay. Did you watch the wedding?
No.
Okay. All right. We've got Mark Steele here. Mark, good evening, sir. He can't hear me yet. He can't hear me. I think, Mark, you might need to unmute yourself because you're not muted here. You're not showing up as muted here. You might need to connect a different device in Discord. That's the other thing. Look, Mark's has guest tomorrow coming on to talk about 5G. And really looking forward to that. And big cheers to Sam for arranging this interview for tomorrow with Mark. But he thought he'd pop on today because he fancied a rant about the Royals as well. And we got Predator Jeff here, who I'm sure has got no opinion whatsoever on the wedding. You didn't watch it then, mate?
No, I never even. Well, for one, I don't watch TV, so I haven't got a TV license. Or I've got a telly that's got no aerial plugged in and just a DVD player plugged into it. It's an old cathode ray tube thing.
Well, you've got a computer or whatever to be doing this, no?
I mean, I could have found something on the computer.
You could have watched it on the iPlayer thing, couldn't you? If you wanted to.
Well, like I said, I'd just sooner.
In fact, I did. I watched it on iPlayer. But, yeah.
Can I tell you about my Facebook ban anyway, Ollie?
All right, go on. We'll start with your Facebook ban. Go on.
All right, listen to this. Somebody posted an article about, now I don't know whether it's fake news, whether it's real news or what, but somebody posted an article and I just put a comment on the bottom. And the article was about a 17-year-old boy is suing his parents because he doesn't like the colour of his skin and he's white. He doesn't like he's suing them for being born white. This is all this blooming, what do you call it? White shame, white guilt and all this crap, yeah?
Yeah,
So anyway,
sure.
I posted underneath, I said, if I was his parents, I'd bitch slap the little faggot.
Yeah, give him a smack.
Yeah, I'd bitch slap the little faggot for even thinking of suing his own parents.
I'd do that. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I'd have a word with him.
Let's put it like this. If he was your son and he was trying to sue you...
What does it say about the parents?
For being
what does it say about the
white?
parents? He's probably on his 5th mobile phone. He's only 12.
Yeah, no, he's 17 years old, but I couldn't believe what I was reading, so I just put that on Facebook, give me a 30-day post ban for it. I'm outspoken, as you know, Ollie.
So you got a month's ban for sharing that, but you did also mention that you'd bitch slap this person.
No, I didn't share the post. I just commented on somebody else that had posted it. I just put a comment underneath, and I said, if I was his parent, I'd bitch slap the little faggot for that. Do you know what I mean?
They gave you a 30-day ban for that.
Yeah, I got a 30-day ban for it. Incredible, isn't it? And they removed the comments.
I don't know. Blimey. That's crazy. That's disgusting. You shouldn't have been banned for that. You shouldn't have been banned for that. It's
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a parent and your kids turned round to you, Ollie, and they
it's
said,
disgusting,
"I'm
but it doesn't
suing
surprise
you for
me.
being
It's this
poor
sense of
white."
entitlement, isn't it? There is this sense of entitlement. It's all this. It's crazy. It's like that kid blew that poor girl away in school the other day, the first of his 10 victims or whatever, because she refused his advances or something. And it's, I don't know, what do you do now? You settle your dispute by killing them? I mean, is that the sense of entitlement that, this kind of mentality seems to have and lead itself to? I think it does. I think it does.
The whole world's gone bloody crazy, mate. I want to get off and go and sort of get in a spaceship and fly off to Mars or something to live, because like this planet's gone mad. In my opinion, it's gone completely off its rocker. All this lawsuit, like I remember years ago, kids were suing their parents for not buying them the latest Nike trainers and all this sort of shit.
Really? Were they?
Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it? All this sort of crazy
I take it those
stuff.
cases didn't go far.
Nah, probably
How
not.
much
them.
of this is the press whipping it up? Because they don't half whip it up. But having said that, I think that you do see this kind of stuff, don't you? And the reason I think you see it is because it's a kind of a vicious circle, isn't it? No? And the media love it.
They jump on it like a pack of blooming angry sharks. They go into a feeding frenzy, don't they, when there's anything like that? So yeah, it probably does get a bit blown out of proportion, but this sort of stuff does go on. Amazing.
Sam, I bet you wouldn't put up with your kids suing you.
No, I haven't got anything from to have, but yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Do you think that there is this deep-set problem now, this sense of entitlement amongst younger people that we haven't seen before? Maybe the sign of an increasing lack of respect in general.
Well, it's Dave Wolf here.
Hold on. Whoa, just a sec, David. Go on, Sam.
Yeah, they feel like they deserve everything given them to them on a plate, and they shouldn't go out and work for it and earn it and learn. It's just I blame technology for a lot of it, because there's no communication anymore. There's no get out and do stuff. It's all sitting in front of your phones and tablets, and that's what's changed.
How do you get around that as a parent? I mean, it must be very, very difficult in terms of peer pressure. That's why it is kind of like a vicious circle, isn't it? In so many different ways.
It's harder for people like me who have kids with autism and anxiety, who don't like going out. So the internet is the only way of any form of communication. So it is hard. It's hard to separate it.
We got Dave Wolf here as well. Hey, Dave, what were you going to say, sir?
I was going to say that it's actually happened in societies before ours, where success is actually, the society succeeds, and that success breeds lazy people, breeds people who don't appreciate what's the effort that's been put in to making the society that they're living. And I think that's coming to fruition again, because the new generation haven't had to strive for their freedom. They have not had to strive for the rights, not had to strive for anything really, and they have to take it for granted. And it'll soon hit them in the face when they start losing their rights and losing their freedoms.
Oh, hold on a sec. Did I not have my tabs open? Okay, I didn't have my news tabs open, so that might break up the audio a little bit for a minute or so. Let's take a few comments then. John Middleton says, money is evil given the government program of reality. Sandy Lane could not believe on BBC Radio 4 on the morning of the wedding, interviewed Doreen Lawrence and talked about her son that was killed through racial hatred. Unbelievable. How much was this wedding used as a kind of if you like, divide rule tool as opposed to a genuine tool of unity by the media and the actors themselves that actually put the wedding on. And so, for example, the Reverend was talking about slavery. Was that taking things a bit too far? Anybody got any thoughts on that? I just thought it was a little bit, well, hold on a sec.
Well, I think we're all this stuff, you see, all this stuff about white privilege and everything, Ollie, I think is an absolute load of crap, because what they're trying to do is to make white people feel guilty for their privileged what they
for
call
the sins
white.
For the sins of the great grandfather or whatever. Actually, if actually they had anything to do with your family at all, which probably they didn't, or maybe they were in the army, in which case they were just regular troops like the rest of us, you know.
But the crazy thing is, Ollie, is that the the slavery originally started by black people. It wasn't by white people at all. So
Well,
they're trying.
that's right. That is correct. Yeah, go on.
So yeah, I was just going to say. So they're trying to play on all this blooming stuff about whites being these terrible rogue enslavers and all that. But remember ancient Egypt and things like that. Apparently, all the pyramids were built by slave labor and all the rest of it. So you know.
Yeah, no, there was also a slave trade in Africa that the Europeans essentially latched onto and grew.
And I bet they didn't address today's modern slavery with debt slavery,
Yeah,
did they?
Yeah. Bloody
right.
good point that is. Yeah,
that's right.
economic slavery is worse than standard slavery in a way.
Yeah, at least
Okay.
the slaves knew they were slaves.
Okay.
Well, I mean, in those days also, you have to remember you had to buy a slave. So
Yeah.
they actually had to invest a lot of money into buying a slave. So they treated them with a bit of half decency. Whereas today, we're all economic slaves. So because there's so many of us, we're just expendable. So we don't get treated with the same sort of value, if you like. We're valueless to them.
Okay, let's go through a few stories going on, and then we'll come back to this. And we're going to go around the house a little bit today because there's so many different ways of looking at this, the changes that we're seeing in culture. And here's one of them, yeah. This was another enormous story this weekend, which is surpassed by, of course, the distraction of the royal wedding. Well, actually, this is another one again, Trump and Brennan. Anyway, we'll come on to that one. God loves you. Pope Francis tells gay man, God made you like this and loves you like this. The remarks were apparently made to a victim of clerical sexual abuse and are the most striking acceptance of homosexuality by the Catholic Church to date. Well, it's an entire acceptance of homosexuality by the Catholic Church. Now, the reason this is so striking to me isn't because, I agree, frankly, with what Francis said. But I don't need some pope to tell me that. It's that God would come out differently on whatever. But what it does say, what it shrieks of, is yet again the Catholic faith has been lying and deceiving ever since its inception. Because if now what I'm saying is true, why wasn't it before? Everything before was a lie, or they make it up as they go along, which is the same thing. That's what it says to me. What do you folks say? This, to me, completely decredits the Catholic faith as any authority whatsoever, because what it says is we've always been lying to you. Anybody got any strong views on that?
I'm a political atheist. I'm also a religious atheist. So I can't stand any religions. I think they're all just control systems.
Yeah, but is this not, though, clear evidence of that? Because, yeah, you can say that, Jeff, but this is surely a good reason why. I mean, the other classic example is there's never been an apology for all the intelligent women that questioned the church, or maybe the fact that they didn't want to be second-class citizens to their menfolk, and they were, lit up, burned as witches. witches, because they were bright, because they questioned authority, probably. The Catholic faith is up to its neck, way beyond. Not only in paedophilia and the women's thing, but also now again the Pope saying, you know what, everything I've told you, or my faith this religion has told you, has been a deceit. And you know, they're changing it. U-turns. It's like government U-turns every now, except it's supposed to be. So I'm just saying, I'm asking you, does it not decredit David Wolf? Do you not think? I think it's very, very, very strong, this. Oh, I've just had a rant about it, didn't I? Yeah.
I want to put a little bit of a positive spin on it.
Go on.
Because it just proves that the Christian religion can evolve and move with the times. Whereas other religions are still stuck in the
hold on a sec. Hold on. Whoa. You're telling me that God changes with the times. First of all, what religion was God? Point one. Yeah, exactly. Religion's a lot of nonsense before you even go anywhere else. And then, okay, let's say that he does, you know, for whatever reason, adopt Catholicism. God did, maybe. You think that God changes with the times? You think that in the course of 2,000 years, nothing in godly terms? You think that he might have decided, actually, you know what? Homos ain't so bad, you know?
I think George
As if he ever had a problem with them in the first place.
I think George Carlin said it best about religion. He said, you've got this wrathful vengeance God who's a jealous God who will cast you down into brimstone and fire and hell and all this, but he loves you and he needs your money.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, in a private dialogue, the pontiff is understood to have told Juan Carlos Cruz, a victim of sexual abuse at the hands of Catholic priests, that God loves gay people and it is fine to be homosexual. So thanks for clearing that up, Pope. Right. Trump shares, quote, ripping Brennan. This guy is the genesis of this whole debacle. Shared a quote from a former Secret Service agent and conservative commentator Dan Bongino, who slammed former CIA Director John Brennan. Anyway, this is still going on over there, and it now looks as though there were folks spying on Trump's campaign from the FBI, are the allegations. Yeah. We've got Mickey here too. Mickey, how are you, sir? Don't know if you can hear us. And we've got the Open Day Guy on Discord too. And Open Day Guy.
Hi, Ollie.
Hey, how are you? What's going on?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
I'm glad to be finally on.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything that you'd like to say, sir? Anything in particular that you'd like to share with us?
Not yet.
Did you watch the wedding?
I saw a bit of it.
What did you think?
I can't really say because I have members of family who fought for the Queen and country. So I can't say anything bad.
Yeah. Okay. She didn't smile much, the Queen. Apparently, she told Philip to keep waving. He probably needed a bit more kiddie blood or something in his arm. I don't know. First official royal wedding photos, etc., etc. Royal protocol forgotten as it is obviously, it has changed. I mean, this girl Meghan Markle, there's no question about it. She has changed the perception of this family overnight, pretty much. What does this mean? What could happen here, apart from them all falling out? Maybe her and Kate falling out because Kate's too much of a traditionalist or something, and a few years down the line, it's all a bit difficult. Or she could possibly be a major spokesperson for, if you like, the Obama-Rama type ideology of this world, i.e., Uncle Sam, really. Any thoughts on this? Anyone?
Well, I don't know about that, but £56,000 on a bloody cake.
Do you think that she's genuine, a genuine social warrior?
A social warrior? Is that what she?
That's what she described herself as, and a feminist. What do these things mean potentially?
Bloody feminist. Bloody hell. Oh, no.
Ollie,
She calls
do-
herself a
do-
feminist. Go on, David.
do nothing but signal her virtue. That is it.
You think it's all nonsense?
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is.
Well, if she's a feminist, he's going to be in the doghouse, isn't he?
I have to say, the word feminist offends me a little bit anyway, because I kind of like to think that you just need to have a shred of decency and be an egalitarian. You know, I don't. I mean, I understand there's a lot of misogyny about. I understand that. My God, you know, liberals put up with it a lot more than conservatives do. But
social warrior.
But I think you just need to be decent, don't you? I don't think you need to brand yourself as a feminist. I'm on the female side as such in terms of that, no?
Well, if she, what you're saying is she's a social warrior or something.
Yeah, it's just social. What is it? What is it she said? Let me see if I can pull up her new bio on the website.
She'll live up to the limelight of Lady Di or something, because she was very popular doing things like, you know, banning landmines and getting landmines removed and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
she?
She got Clinton's agreement, and then she died, and then within 2 months, Clinton had pulled out of that treaty to ban landmines. Bill Clinton, out of interest. Yeah, she did. And Harry has walked around a minefield as well, hasn't he? I seem to recall. And who knows? I don't know. But some people would say that Diana was very theatrical too. We never actually really saw the end game with whatever it was that she was talking about. I'll tell you what, though. 2 weeks before she died, do you remember? She was sat on that roof in that, I don't know where it was, in the Mediterranean on a terracotta roof. And she said, couple of weeks, folks, to all the press pool down there, all the paparazzi down on the ground. Going to be breaking something in a couple of weeks. Couple of weeks going to blow your mind, basically, she pretty much said. Never seen that footage since. I recall that clear as day. Anybody else remember that?
I remember that video. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. See if I can find.
I can't remember much because I was just born. I was just little then.
Yeah. I'm just looking to see if it says anything about social feminist and
Social justice.
social justice. That's what she said. What did she say, David? This was in her speech, wasn't it, that she gave at the reception?
Yeah, social justice warrior. So she wants.
If she talks the talk, let's see if she walks the walk.
Social justice warrior and feminist. I'll tell you, we've never, ever had that kind of language out of the House of Windsor before. That it's going to be interesting. I mean, I would have thought that they would just stifle her and go, no way, that's not safe. No?
Yeah,
Well, she can say things.
Can she?
Signal her virtue, but will she actually do anything? Will she actually, start to give away some of the royal family's £8 billion fortune?
I don't know whether she'd be allowed to, would she?
Well, no, she wouldn't.
No.
She wouldn't. Stav Woodcutter says, read your comments, Ollie. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, quite right. Let's listen to comments. So he also says, all total bollocks. and virtue signalers, Stav Woodcutter. Say it like it is, mate. Jay Carey, they refer to Markle as a commoner, regardless of her position in society, rich and famous. And Jay Carey says, opened eye guy. Note the key word there, claimed, says Jay Carey. That's referring to something to do with the Catholic Pope thing, I think. And leaders of any sorts, religion, political, etc., is a failure of people not wanting to be self-responsible for themselves, says Dad Woodcutter. You anarchists, sir. Sandy Lane, they make it up to suit the politics of the day. Yeah, this is it, isn't it? I mean, but this is so different now, isn't it? This is incredibly different to the time of Diana. We've kind of had that era of Blair, which is, if you like, that was the inception of personality politics, if you like. I was watching that wedding and I was looking at the people involved and I was thinking, you got Oprah there. She's a potential presidential candidate, except she won't run for it because, I don't know. I don't think she will. And there's George Clooney there. George Clooney. Now, what do you reckon? What are the chances of him running for president? Not this time round, because he probably knows he'd lose, but next time round.
Oh, I think it's like what they said on Back to the Future, isn't it? Or something where he said Arnold Schwarzenegger's running for president. He said, who's going to be vice president then? Jerry Lewis? Or something like that.
It's what they've got to, isn't it? I mean, okay, Ronnie Reagan, he was an actor, but on the other hand, he left acting to become a governor. And it's not as though he went straight for the president. Mind you, I guess, I don't know. You could argue that it has already happened. But it does seem as though we are going further and further into that age, that time, when politics is quite possible it will be comprised of celebrities. And even now, look at the politicians that we have. They're pretty much lauded as celebrities, and their children become politicians off the back of it. No?
I made a mistake there, actually, Ollie. I said on Back to the Future about Arnold Schwarzenegger. It is Ronald Reagan, that's right. Now, but think about it. Ronald Reagan is he was an actor, yeah? So all of politics, to me, is just theatre. It's all a stage. The world's who was it who said it? Shakespeare. The world's a stage and we're all actors in it, mate.
Yes.
You know.
At its most basic, politics is a popularity contest.
Yeah, it's all an act. That's why they call them acts of parliament, because they're all an act.
Jay Carey says royals are supposed to be pagan Christians, but they even failed the legitimate royalty test on that front. Illegitimate royals and illegitimate government. Stav says Clooney the loony. Only Anglo-Saxons are pagan Christians. The royals are Norman blood. Charlotte Jameson says main reason why George married Amal. Yeah, I think you're right. I thought the same thing, Charlotte. I was there looking at them and I was thinking, how much of Amal Clooney was she a political bride? It just, again, it's almost that Clintonese to that kind of, it's that pursuit of power. Like, I don't know if you watched the first part of the new BBC One show last night on Jeremy Thorpe. Which finally is coming out, that story actually being openly discussed, and it's just, and people are using words like bizarre to describe it, as opposed to, how the hell did we get away with that? Did that happen? And what are we still getting away with it? Anyway, I've lost my thought. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, but he was, blimey, I completely forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, there was a link there. Did you watch that anyway? Did you watch that about Jeremy Thorpe?
I can't say I did.
I had a really important segue there, and I forgot what it bloody was. But yeah, no, Charlotte has got a point, has she not? That George Clooney and Amal, what's her name? They don't half look like a political couple.
Well, it would make sort of deep state sense because they believe that the American people will follow the stars.
I don't think that about Harry and Meghan, though. I think that's a fluke. Looking at his face during that ceremony, he just looks utterly besotted. Absolutely besotted. A puppy in her hands, basically. And therefore, the royal family at her mercy. Which is hilarious. I mean, it really is. It could go so wrong. But in the case of George Clooney and Amal, what's her name? It just looks to me way more frosty than that, if you like. Not frosty, but way more manufactured. I don't know. Might be wrong. Bit of gossip. Sam, what's your female intuition on this?
What, on Harry and Meghan? Give it
Well,
5 years.
yeah, or maybe more importantly, potentially one of the next presidents of the United States who, I don't know, maybe just was there, invited, George Clooney and this Amal, what's her name?
No.
Human rights barrister, isn't she? And all that. Very perfect molding, eh?
Oh, it's like a liberal freaking get together. That's why they wouldn't invite Trump, because he's not liberal.
Yeah. I'm rather pleased we didn't have to pay for the security that would have been involved in it as well, though. But yeah, I don't know. If Obama, pardon? Go on.
I don't think Trump would have gone anyway. He knows that the politicians and the liberal elite champagne socialists hate him, so why would he go?
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
The way I look at it, me is, it's just a couple getting bloody married. But, at the end of the day, I'm happy for them if they're happy.
Oh, I agree with you, but it isn't, is it? It's also a massive influence on the royal family, potentially.
I mean,
and therefore on the establishment. You can't tell me the royal family doesn't have an influence. We have a privy council. People like Tony Blair's on that council. What's her name? Is it Chakrabarti, the Liberty person who became an MP and now she's a lord or dame or whatever they are? She's just been put into the privy council as well this last week.
I just find all of this wealth when people are struggling to make ends meet, I find this obscene. I find it absolutely obscene. I mean, yeah, I got no problem with people having wealth, but rubbing people's nose in it by blooming sweeping the homeless off the street to make way for it and all this sort of stuff, and then having a £56,000 bloody wedding cake and 300,000 quid's worth of trumpets and all this sort of bloody nonsense. It's just obscene. To me, it's just.
Well, you could argue also it probably did drum up a lot of money for the country. I suspect that was a relatively profitable gig for the UK. I mean, just from a business point of view, no, Jeff?
Possibly. I'm
not saying that. Well, I don't know the way the homeless were treated. I don't know, but I'm setting that aside, and just in terms of the money that was spent by the UK taxpayer was a profit made. I kind of suspect that it could have been this time. I don't know.
How much of it was tourism that turned up at this wedding? I mean, if it's tourism, then yeah, presumably it's going to draw a bit of money into the country, isn't it? But if it's just people from this country, then it's just this money from this country going to this country. So I don't know. I don't know what difference, how much it would make. But personally, I still think it's a bit of a slight. What would make them more human for me and less reptilian is if they ate out at fucking, pardon my French, at McDonald's or something like that. It'd make them more human to me. To see them eating out at McDonald's or, mind you, I don't think even poor people eat out at McDonald's anymore, but do you know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't wish McDonald's on anybody. But I do get the urging once every 6 months I have to have a cheeseburger or something. I need another set of headphones. I keep sitting on the things, says Thomas White. Yeah. I don't think the Don would not have attended. Charlotte Jameson says, I agree with Sam. I don't think the Don would not have attended. Yeah. I think that she's saying that she doesn't think he would. Harry is just happy. Someone will take on the family, says Charlotte. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay, guys, what did you think? What did you think of the preacher? Did anybody hear the preacher?
I didn't hear it.
Didn't anybody hear it?
I didn't.
It was hilarious. Hey, Sam?
I heard it on the news.
I've heard clips, and apparently everyone's faces were quite embarrassed.
Yeah, they didn't know where to look. Yeah, including the groom actually, and he at one point kind of didn't roll his eyes, but pretty close. And one or two of them certainly did roll their eyes. Zara Phillips did, but I think that she just needed a pee really badly. Poor girl. She's very pregnant or something. But yeah, it was quite funny. It was quite funny, and I just wondered if he went on about the slave trade. I thought, is he going to get into the opium wars? Is he going to go there? That's where they made their money, wasn't it? But he didn't. He didn't do that. But anyway, I thought it was quite funny. Oh, look. Okay, Ken Livingston has resigned from the Labour Party, according to Guido, just because nobody's seen the bloody preacher speech, so it's no good asking about it, is it? Ken's statement: after much consideration, well, about 10 years of it, I've decided to resign from the Labour Party. Good on you, mate. Right, okay. And so what else? Let's have a look, see what else is going on, see if we can find anything else. Grenfell, obviously, today. But what is going on? What I'd really like to know, folks, and this harks back to the show on Friday, good weekend to bury bad news. What's actually going on with our EU membership and this customs union, for example? They're still talking about it, aren't they? They're still whispering.
They're still on about this customs partnership thing, are they? Presumably. Should we not? I know that there are maybe a couple of thousand folks that turned out for Harry yesterday or whatever. 17.4 million turned out to vote to leave the EU. And I just think maybe we should have a little bit more news on that, no? Well, they got to leave. I mean, Theresa May, she seems adamant that we're definitely leaving, not just in name only, but she seems adamant that we're going to... no, she's not. She's saying that we need some sort of a customs union replacement with a transitional extension. Oh, well, in that case, there's no Brexit at all if we're going to have this customs union partnership thing. Or at least that's what was reported in the Telegraph on Friday, and there doesn't seem to have been any news on it since. So, no, I was wrong. They didn't slip that one in. Jacob Fox says that if we got a customs partnership, it's not Brexit at all. Even Jacob Rees-Mogg says that, so... when I happen to agree with him, I think we need leave the single market, leave the customs union, hard Brexit, straight out. That's what we need. I think Sandy Lane's right. Specially designed customs union, and we keep paying until 2021. Except, no, I think we will. It will be a way to keep us into the whole damn club. I'll tell you that somehow it will. Jay Carey, it's because the court case will take another 2 years on Livingston. And he doesn't want to give Labour a bad name and instead will allow Corbyn's campaign to continue. John Middleton, it's just words on a floating vessel. Go on, Jeff. I read a post on one of the tabloids. I can't remember what it was. It might have been the Express or something like that. But it said Theresa May was adamant that we're leaving the single market, we're not having a customs union, and it's going to be fast-tracked. They're not going to do this long transition period. It's going to be fast-tracked for about a year or something, rather than to 2022, 2023, or any of that sort of stuff. Where did you read this, Jeff? Or hear this? I think it was an Express article or something like that. But does it not? Is it not peculiar to you, though, also, that there are such different stories coming out, presumably being leaked from Cabinet? Yeah, it seems to be that they're chopping and changing like the bloody weather. You don't know whether you're on your ass or your head with them because they keep changing their minds. I don't, to be honest, you can't take any of it. I mean, take it all with a pinch of salt, really, because they keep chopping and changing. So I don't know what they're doing, what they're planning, or whether they're going to hard Brexit or whether they're going to do this customs partnership or what. I don't know. But to be honest, we shouldn't be signed up to PESCO. We're not a nation. We're not an independent nation state if we haven't got our own army anyway, in my opinion, in my honest opinion. So we need our own army. We need our fishing waters back. We need to leave the single market, leave the customs union, start trading with the rest of the world freely. Okay. Let's. This is Jeff. This is according to Not So Independent. Theresa May, and this is 3 hours ago. Theresa May says backstop customs deal with EU must be for a limited time in new Brexit red line. So in other words, she's torn up the last red line,
So we now have an
Most
official.
trade deals
That is it.
are
Is it
really-
not? That is it.
Trade deals
That is it.
are
Is it
really-
not? That is official. She's not saying, she's not arguing that we, whether or not we should or should not have some sort of a customs deal. She's saying it's going to happen. It's going to be for a limited time. Seeks to calm Brexiteer suspicion that alignment with the EU customs union could become permanent. Theresa May's laid down a red line for the deal on post-Brexit customs she is seeking with the EU, insisting it would last only for a limited time. It just doesn't mean a thing, really, that. Facing a backlash from pro-Brexit cabinet ministers, the Prime Minister sought to dismiss fears that the backstop, keeping the UK aligned with the customs union, could become permanent. Ms May repeated her claim that the right solution to the Irish border dilemma lay in a new overarching economic agreement to be negotiated. Yeah, it's called a trade deal with the EU. And she said of the backstop, if it is necessary, it will be in a very limited set of circumstances for a limited time, but we are working on achieving that commitment to Northern Ireland. The comments came after Michael Gove signalled his unease about the backstop plan a day or so ago, which would see the UK retain EU tariff levels into the 2020s. The whole point about the backstop is that it's intended not to be implemented, but it's there just in case. Just in case we can't get another referendum.
Well, it's like that.
Just in case we can't get a Labour government that's going to railroad you plebs.
Well, they're just keeping their options open, because if they weren't keeping their options, if they were really serious about Brexit, then they would have done Article 50 and then repealed the 1972 Communities Act, so we couldn't go back in. But they're just so soft. They're just such a weak leadership. There's no resolve at all. Instead of like dealing with the problems as they come along, they're just. I think ultimately they're going to end up going back in one way or the other anyway. By the sounds of it, that's why they're keeping their options open. That's why they haven't signed the 1972 Repeals Act. Repealed the 1972 Communities Act, sorry. So I think it's just, I think it's just a load of old Charlie Ollocks, if you ask my thoughts on it.
Okay.
It's just they're not resolute.
Last Wednesday,
hold on.
The government chose to schedule.
Oh, God. So he confesses to stupid remark, but stops short of apologising to Andrea Leadson, who he, I don't know. He's an arse, isn't he? What a Burke. And just a bit of a funny, more funny story maybe. The islanders who worship the Duke of Edinburgh celebrate the royal wedding by eating many, many pigs. He's not the granddad of the groom. He's the son of God. Yeah. And they do. They worship this guy. Can you believe it? They worship that guy.
Yeah, I saw a little documentary on that. It was quite funny. They have lots of little pictures of him everywhere, and all flowers and everything. They love to praise him.
Why do they do that? Why do they think that he's the son of God? Prince
because he brought them good fortune.
Did he? What did he do? Go over there and have a bit of fun with some of the girls. I bet he did. Probably.
Was it Edinburgh? Was it the Duke of Edinburgh that called the Chinese a bunch of little slant-eyed little yellow gits, or was that Charlie? I can't remember. One of the two. But,
no, it was Philip who did say they was slanty-eyed or something. Yeah.
Slitty-eyed, buggers.
Slitty-eyed. Yeah.
Great.
He's the one.
Great ambassador for British diplomacy, that, isn't it? Not really. Really being sarcastic,
Okay, all right. So actually, a much bigger story. Let's see if I can find it. Guess what? Shooting in Marseille. Hooded gunmen have opened fire with automatic rifles, Kalashnikovs in Marseille in southern France, with one person reportedly, probably dead. Cheers, Schengen. Ken Livingstone resigns. I want to find the Italy story because that's something that really could make a difference, huh? Oh, I'm just going to have to use the one from bloody Graniad. I do apologise. Italian markets in turmoil as political novice emerges as front runner for PM. This is an old story now, isn't it? I think this is at least this morning. Expectation that the M5S whatever they are, and league leaders will put forward Giuseppe Conte. Yeah, Conte has been confirmed as prime minister. Italian financial markets have been in turmoil as the country awaits news about whether an unknown law professor without any political experience, thank God, will be named as the next prime minister. The country's two populist parties, the anti-establishment Five Star Movement and the Anti-Migrant League, announced a joint agreement naming this guy. Now, this is absolutely awesome. It seems to me, folks, that to imagine the EU absolutely just, oh my God, they must be having kittens in the wine cellar at the moment, drinking themselves silly at the prospect of what might happen off the back of this coalition actually turning itself, becoming a coalition, agreeing terms to become a government, to threaten these bastards, no?
Well, we can hope and pray. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I'd like to see the whole EU implode under his own bullshit. Quite frankly, I'd like to see the old bloody lot come crashing down.
David Wolf, this is exciting, isn't it? What's going on in Italy is, frankly, a lot more useful than what's going on in number 10.
Almost definitely. It just shows the resistance to the EU's dictatorship. And it shows that the Italian people are starting to wake up now, are starting to really feel the squeeze of what the EU has done to the past 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Instead of it a nice, economic community, it's evolved into a complete and utter dictatorship. And then with the flooding of migrants, oil on a fire. Threw oil on the fire, and now Italy's set to hopefully be the next ones to properly leave. And to be honest with you, they might even overtake us. With the way our government's kicking can down the road, Italy might leave the European Union before Britain.
I think you're probably right there, actually, David. The way they keep kicking it into the long grass, Theresa May and all that lot, they'll probably leave way before us.
Yeah, and all this umming and ahhing and toing and froing is all to use a very powerful tool called confusion. If people don't really know what's going on, they can't really object to it. They can't really fight against it if you don't know what's going on. So they're doing it on purpose to keep us all thinking, we are leaving. We might not be. We are. No, we're not.
Yeah.
It's really complicated. We really don't know what we're doing.
I'll tell you what, though, Dave. It seems to me, I don't think the Italians are fed up of dictatorship. To be honest with you, I think the Southern Europeans, the Italians and the Spanish, I don't think that they are quite as against that kind of concept as the Northern European nations, such has been their history over the last century. But having said that, in the case of Italy, they are on the brunt, as is Greece, of migration. And they are seeing the very fabric of their country absolutely turned upside down in front of their eyes. Not in any organic way, but in a completely politically motivated, demographic engineering kind of a way. And they see that. And that's what has basically changed the political fabric of Italy. Whereas, for example, in Spain, where I am, that hasn't happened because Spain is not on the front line. In one or two places like Ceuta and Manila in Morocco, those Spanish enclaves, they're seeing it there. But it's not being reported on the news, those people jumping over the fence in northern Africa. And on mainland Spain, it's not happening at all. Well, it is, but nothing like to the extent of in Greece and in Italy. In Turkey, but then Turkey's got a totally different agenda. They want to flood us all anyway. They just want to sort of, act as a kind of a clearinghouse for ruining Europe. I don't know. The Italians, they're seeing that. The Spanish, for example, it seems to me they haven't seen that yet, and they aren't seeing it the same way. The French are seeing it more. They've seen it in places like Calais. They're seeing it in Paris. But in Spain, I would say that it's still way pro-EU. As just as to give a contrast, of another sort of key Southern European nation, a comparable one to Italy.
To jump in, with my experience in Spain, the Spanish have got used to having a subclass of sub-Saharan Africans. They're used to it. They've been, the lucky men and all that sort of thing.
Well, they don't really have much. They don't really have much. They don't have anything that makes them think, oh wow, this is a kind of modern migration, yeah, but not like boatloads. Bring them in. Let's see how much we can flood the place. We're not seeing that in Spain, but they have seen that in Italy, no?
In certain parts of Spain, it is by the boatload. Down on the southern coast of Spain, there was a lot.
No, there is some. You're right, there is some. But it's nothing like as strong, for the simple reason that the sea is a lot more dangerous going across at that point, albeit but much smaller than it is going across, on to one of the Italian islands or one of the Greek islands.
Well, if we take into concept the Kalergi plan, which is one of the bases for this mass immigration, you'll see that the Spanish were pretty much already invaded by the Moors. Yeah. So they've already got quite a bit of the desired effect already. They already have quite I don't want to insult the Spanish by this, but they do have quite a lower IQ than the rest of Northern Europe because they've already had this genetic sullying of their bloodlines.
Really? Blimey, that's strong. You really believe that?
Yes.
Blimey. I don't know. That sounds ridiculous to me. What does anybody else think about that? Jeff, I know you're pretty hard line. Would you go as far as that?
Yeah, apparently he's absolutely correct what he's saying. If you look at IQs throughout the world, you find that at the top are a certain bunch of Oriental Asians, and then the white people, Western countries are next, and you find that the African countries are at the lowest. They're at the bottom end of the IQ spectrum, apparently.
And don't use the excuse of the poor education system, because IQ has nothing to do with education. It's about your intellectual agility.
Do you not think that IQ is just one form of intelligence, though, as well? And I'll give you a good example. I know one or two folks that are hyper bright and they have problems crossing the street. Yeah? They haven't got much, if you like, street sense. And there are different forms of intelligence, no?
Oh, yes, there are different forms of intelligence.
Speed and
I don't know, I find it very interesting how people, go on, Jeff.
I was just going to say, IQ, basically, intelligence quotient, measures speed and accuracy of thought, and it's just defined as your mental age divided by your chronological age and times by 100. That's the formula for it, apparently. So if you've got an IQ of 150, you'd be 1.5 times your mental age would be 1.5 times your chronological age, to give you an example. That's how it works, but it's based on several different factors, but it's basically a speed and accuracy of thought.
Wow. So, blimey. Okay. All right. Go on, Sam.
Well, I couldn't tell you my IQ. It's probably very low.
We also want to be able to continue to trade as freely with the EU as possible, and we want to avoid a cliff edge.
Oh, yeah. Go on. Sorry, Sam. Your IQ is very low.
Probably.
Nonsense.
But I like to call myself street smart.
Pardon?
I like to call myself street smart.
Yes.
You see, some people do.
I think there's a lot to be said for. We do have different abilities, yeah. It's like Beckham was there in the audience or whatever, the church, and he's not the brightest, the sharpest tool in the shed intellectually. He's got his brain in his boots. I mean, different people have got different skills now. I don't know. I don't know how we. I think personally we're quite superficial in the way that we judge people's abilities. Could we not be, looking to get a little bit more out of the different sort of things that we have to offer?
Well, I think people that are lacking in one ability usually compensate in other abilities. It's like, you know, if you get somebody who's got problems with their eyesight, they usually find that they're exceptionally good hearing, and vice versa. And it's the same with intellect and things. Like people that haven't got like necessarily a high IQ or whatever tend to be more creative.
Yeah, yeah, that must be it. Right. Okay. So we've got tomorrow. What's going on, Sam?
We've got Mark Steele talking about 5G.
5G.
So
excellent.
Everybody that's listening, can you please share tomorrow's show, because we want to have lots and lots of people watching.
Yes. Good. Okay. And brilliant. Excellent. I'll have to try and sort him out on Discord. Yeah, we'll have to sort that out because clearly it didn't work tonight.
Yes, we'll do that.
Yeah. He was coming on, but anyway, right. Oh, blimey, hold on a sec. Sorry, just gotta. Oh, yeah. Right, good, excellent. Anything else to report, folks? Any last thoughts? Because I'm gonna finish off now. Beer o'clock.
No.
Oh,
plug. The Hive Mind's coming up next, and we're going to do a bit of a report on what happened over the weekend.
Excellent. guv.li/hive. Yeah? Is that it?
Yep.
Brilliant.
That's it.
All right. Good.
I'm off to do Axiom Steam It with Stav and PJ and all that lot. So,
okay. All right. Oh, blimey. So we've got competing scheduling now. We need to try and get around this, people.
We normally do Axiom Steam It on a Sunday, but it sort of went a bit pear-shaped yesterday, so we're doing it today instead.
Okay, so where can they find that?
You can find anything to do with Axiom. You might find you'll find Axiom Flux on YouTube. We're uploading a lot of stuff to D-Live now. It's all going on to D-Live.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm actually going to join you tonight to talk about that. I'm going to find out a bit more about that in about an hour's time or so, if that's all right, Jeff.
Yeah,
because,
sure. Yeah,
D-Live is kind of going to be better for streaming. So anyway, good, excellent. Yeah, okay, it's very Monday today, I've got to admit. Oh, feeling very Monday. And just looking at that wedding thinking they're just all a bunch of bloody remorons, really. I don't think we're going to get Brexit. I don't see it at all. I want to say a big cheers for everybody that popped on today onto Discord. To Sam, brother to Jeff, to Mickey, who didn't say a word, bless him, and the open-eyed guy. Yeah. And one or two others, I can't remember. Long day. Back tomorrow, yeah? Yeah, Mr. Steele, Mark Steele, 5G. Yeah, this has been Daily Chaos. I'm Olly Connelly. See you tomorrow. Here's to us and bug up plutocracy. We will not get Brexit. Hey, Jeff?
I was just going to say, bang Ollie a beer because he deserves it.
Oh, please. PayPal.me/Brexit. I'll tell you what. Oh, blimey. I'll try and be better with the comments tomorrow, folks. Some good comments. Thomas White says, what do I got planned for Wednesday night? And yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. But I'll have a guest on Wednesday. Oh, I was supposed to give Caroline Stevens a plug for something. I can't remember what. Caroline Stevens, people. There's a plug. bloody Clooney. I tell you what, God, Lord preserve them. That's where they want to take us, yeah? The ultimate celebrity politics. Tomorrow at 7, folks.